108 minutes to quarantine failure. Master caution. Reset.
Iteration.
No current
1.
alarms. Vault temperature
0.
within normal parameters.
1.
Vault pressure within normal
3.
parameters. Vault humidity within
2.
normal parameters.
0.
Vault integrity test report
1.
secured.
3. 2. 1. 0. 0.
Talk show.
We'll do it live!
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Manual override achieved. For station uplink, enter 3, 2.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Drano, and you're listening to a communication from Station 7, or The Door. Station 7 is a sociological experiment in progress for members of the Dharma Initiative and fans of Lost and The Walking Dead, so we're going to go ahead and open up our lines for anyone who wants to communicate.
Opening communications channel. Waiting.
Well, Lost is over.
Satellite uplink established.
But it turns out, Damon and Carlton's prediction was true.
What's really fun is to actually have a character back who is dead, but isn't really dead.
When someone dies on Lost, they're dead. And that's really it. Like, we're not trying to be sneaky and they're going to come back as a zombie.
Year 7, you're going to regret that zombie comment.
I am really going to regret that. Year 7 is actually, the subtitle is Lost Zombies. And it's just everybody who we've killed off over the years coming back and trying to eat
It'll be
brains.
cool. It'll be like Stephen King's.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
So today we're going to react to episode 36 of the hit series on AMC, The Walking Dead. The title of the episode is 30 Days Without an Accident. We'll rate the episode, give our initial thoughts, critique things a bit, and follow that up with the Walker of the Week, the Roger Award, and our survival scenario. Next, we'll make some predictions for what we think might happen next. These predictions will be spoiler-free and will not make any reference to the comic book series that The Walking Dead is based on. Finally, we will compare and contrast between the TV series and the comics in our 3-minute spoiler section. So without further ado, let's get to it. But first, a word from our sponsors.
This week's episode is sponsored by the amazing Chinese shovel. Think it's just a shovel? No! It slices, dices, digs, picks, parries, pliers, screws, hammers. It's the only tool you'll ever need. Much more than a shovel. It's the amazing Chinese shovel.
Okay, so let's see who we've got on the line today.
Incoming transmission from Methodic John.
Hey, Methodic John, how you doing?
Hello, great to be here.
Fantastic. I understand you're in transit.
I am.
You aren't texting while driving, are you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good.
And podcasting while driving. I think I break, double laws for that.
Excellent.
And I pulled over on the side of the road so I could do, talk for a second.
You giant liar.
No, I'm literally sitting on the side of the road.
Oh, okay.
I swear to God.
Wow.
But as soon as I'm done talking, I'm going to hit mute and start driving and texting.
So responsible.
Yes.
Okay, well, who else we got up there?
Incoming transmission from Mr. Bad.
Hey, Mr. Bad, how you doing?
Oh, excellent, Sergeant. How you doing?
Not too bad. How's the weather up there?
Oh, beautiful fall weather, and I am neither. I'm not texting either, but I am twerking at the moment. Yes.
I did not need that mental picture. Did not.
Incoming transmission from Mike.
Hey, Mike, how's it going? Michael,
Good.
actually.
Hi.
Have you seen Walt lately? Walt, have you seen Walt lately?
What was that?
You're Michael, right? So I was wondering if you had seen Walt.
Walt? No.
Okay. And how are things up your way?
You good? Haven't had anything bad.
Okay, well, good to hear. What else we got up here?
Incoming transmission from Mr. Good.
Hey there, Mr. Good. How are you doing?
Good, Sergeant. What's going on?
Oh, just talking about a little Walking Dead.
No, that's good. I am not driving or I'm not doing anything. I'm too fully clothed to do anything interesting.
Especially no twerking, hopefully.
No twerking going on. Got too many covers on. Shed some of these clothes first. Oh, my son's throwing an extra blanket on me now. Oh, 2 extra blankets. Oh, 3. Yeah.
How many blankets you got? Because I guess it's the north. I guess it's the north, so you got a lot of blankets up there.
Yeah, it is north. That is correct, yes. I just pretend to be from Northern Virginia, though. Throw off all my...
I hear you guys say winter is coming.
They say that. I don't know. It's a little chilly.
Okay, looks like we got one more up here.
Incoming transmission from Locutus aboard.
Hey, Locutus. It's been a while.
Hey, yeah, it has been. Been kind of busy.
I hear your singing career has really taken off since we last collaborated.
Yeah, making millions.
Fantastic. Maybe you can send that my way. I could use some of those millions.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can play that song, Tom, if you'd like to, on the podcast, if you'd like to.
Here's the Carl's in Charge song that Locutus and I wrote together, and Locutus was gracious enough to sing it. It's all about how Carl is now in command. At least it seems like he kind of was at the end of last season. Here it is.
A new boy in the neighborhood lives in a jail out in the wood. He's just there to shoot down some zombies. And that kid from Woodbury, Carl's in charge of our feuds and our fights. Carl's in charge of our lefts and our rights. And I want Carl in charge of me. A freckled face, a sheriff hat, cowboy boots and a silencer bat. Defends us from all types of tragedy. And to put down his zombie mommy. Carl's in charge of our group and our lives. Carl's in charge of our guns and our knives. And I want Carl in charge of me.
Okay, well, you guys ready to get rolling on this brand new episode of The Walking Dead?
Ready to rock and zombie roll.
Fantastic. So I guess we'll do that first thing we do. Okay, I went into a lot of effort with this one, so it's pretty lengthy. Joy. Okay, Farmer Rick goes out to tend the fields. He splashes some water on his face, puts on his iPod, and goes to town listening to some super hickified music. He finds a gun buried in the dirt, and one of his earbuds comes out, and he gets annoyed by all the zombie noises. He gives the zombies behind the fence a hard look, then goes back to hoeing his row. Later, Rick and Carl have a talk about Violet the pig, who is sick. Rick tells Carl they shouldn't name the animals. And Daryl's hair is even more girly this season. He and Carol flirt over food and talk about how awesome Daryl is. Patrick, who is one of the Expendables, comes over and congratulates Daryl on being awesome. Yes, that's what I'm calling all these new people. To me, they are the Expendables. Patrick comes over and congratulates Daryl on being awesome and wants to shake his hand, so Daryl puts nasty saliva on his fingers and gives Patrick his awesome cooties. Expendable Patrick doesn't seem to mind. Tyrese walks up to an expendable girlfriend. I never even got a name for her. Does anybody know what her name is? Anybody?
Oh, Karen. That's Karen, the only survivor from the governor's massacre.
Oh, okay. Now, was that the chick that was in the truck? Or the chick behind the tires back at the town?
No. She was hiding in the cab when they came along. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so that's Karen. Okay. So Tyrese walks up to, I'm going to call her Expendable Karen, and tells her that he doesn't want to work the fences anymore, that he only did it to get into her pants. And Expendable Karen tells him that it worked. Tyrese wants to go on a run instead, and Expendable Karen agrees. Beth's expendable boyfriend, Zach, kisses her goodbye in preparation to go on the run. Beth is like, whatever. Expendable Bob shows up and wants to join the run, too. Sasha tries to talk him out of it, but he's eager to help. Michonne returns from a scouting mission for the governor with Comet for Carl and a razor for Rick. She goes on the run, too. Rick is getting ready to check the snares and encourages Carl to go to story time. Herschel walks up on his new peg leg and tells Rick the council wants Rick to take his gun whenever he goes outside. So apparently Rick doesn't like guns anymore? Rick is out checking snares when he encounters a woman who looks like a zombie. But as it turns out, she's just Irish. She tells Rick that she and her husband Eddie you gotta be careful about those Irish people sometimes. Another confusion.
He's not Irish, he's Roman.
Roman?
Yeah, it's Roman.
I don't know, it sounded Irish to me.
I wasn't sure where her accent was from.
No, that's Carrie Condon, who played the crazy Clara is the actress Carrie Condon, who played Octavia in the HBO series Rome.
It even sounded Jamaican at some point. I mean, it was just
crazy accent. I agree.
She's Black Irish.
She's Blairish? Not a Blairish princess.
So she tells Rick that she and her husband Eddie are starving. Incidentally, I didn't get a name for her either. Did anybody get a name for her, or did they not give us one?
Clara.
So Clara tells Rick that she and her husband Eddie are starving and asks for help. Rick gives her a large ball of tinfoil. He tells her they can come with him, but they have to answer 3 questions first. The woman agrees, or Clara agrees to lead Rick back to her camp. Carl gets flub that one. Carl gets on the other kids for naming zombies. He gets some back talk from Sophia too. The kids head off to story time, and expendable Patrick calls Carl young sir. The away team arrives at a thinly disguised Big Lots and prepares to sleep it for walkers. Expendable Zach points his shotgun at Daryl and tries to guess what Daryl did before the zombie apocalypse. He guesses homicide cop. Daryl reveals that he was a homicide cop, but that he was undercover, so I guess he only investigated homicides in secret. The away team is searching the store, and Expendable Bob gives some booze a glare worthy of Colonel Ty before he puts it back, and the whole shelf falls on him, trapping him. On the roof, the zombies hear it and move towards an area where a crashed helicopter has weakened the structure. Zombies start falling in through the roof like some kind of video game level. Zombies grab Expendable Zach and start eating him. The away team escapes the store moments before the roof comes crashing in. Rick arrives at the woman's camp, and Clara tries to kill Rick. It turns out Eddie is a zombie, and she was going to feed Rick to him. She stabs herself and tells Rick to let her become a zombie. She asks Rick what the 3 questions were going to be that he was going to ask her. Rick says, "How many walkers have you killed?" And then he says, "How many people have you killed?" And then he says, "Why?" And then he leaves. Carl sneaks into story time and discovers it's actually Carol's secret knife training class for children, where you can learn to stab and slash and what to aim for. Expendable Patrick feels sick and excuses himself, and Carol asks Carl not to tell Rick about the knives, so Carl runs away. Rick gets back to the prison and notices that Violet the pig is dead. Tyrese gets back to the prison and tells Expendable Carol that he doesn't like going on runs either. Daryl gets back to the prison and tells Beth that Expendable Zach is dead. Beth is like, "Whatever," and resets her accident board. Michonne plans a scouting mission out towards Macon, and Expendable Patrick is not looking too good. He takes a shower, then collapses and dies. A few minutes later, he reanimates as a zombie, having been infected by Daryl's awesome cooties.
What was that last part? Having been reinfected by what, did you say?
By Daryl's awesome cooties. He was infected when Daryl shook him with that nasty hand that he put in his mouth.
Oh.
At least that's my take on it.
I think you nailed it there. I think Daryl is the carrier of the mutated zombie strain. Yes.
Man.
And of course,
hero.
Yes, because Patrick was serving breakfast. That means everybody who ate breakfast after Daryl is going to be infected now.
Right.
See, I thought it went the other way. Yeah, that Daryl was going to be infected by Patrick.
And Daryl was probably having sex with Violet, too. That's probably what killed Pig.
Oh, come on. With anybody with an iota of bacon sense would understand that the kid died of swine flu, which the pig had, and the pig is spread to the people.
I think it was saliva.
The saliva was
It goes to the skin.
Wait a minute. Gobble. All right, can't we? We're jumping sections. Let's start the section and jump into this.
Okay. Gavel. You look like a gavel sound effect. For a second, I thought he was making turkey noises.
Turkey noises. Halloween's coming. It's not Thanksgiving.
Methodic John, very fittingly, you are the first on my board. So, what did you think of this episode? How many stars would you give it out of 10?
I'd give it 7 stars. There were some things that I feel confused by with respect to, I guess, what we can say, canon that I found confusing, and I think we started to briefly cover some of them. So I was kind of confused by a few things that played out, and but it was good. It was, it was no snoozer, but it wasn't, the bee's knees.
Would you say it was better than the finale at the end of last season?
I wonder what I gave the finale. Yeah, I would say it's better because they had a cool farm and he was listening to music. So, All right, okay. And how about you, Mr. Bad? How many stars did you give it?
I liked it a lot more than Methodic John. I'll give it a 10. I thought it was fantastic. I liked everything about it. I was particularly down on the season finale, and I really liked how they started things off. And I enjoyed Farmer Rick listening to his hick music and then taking his earphones off so he could hear the walkers howling. And I really liked the tension of Rick walking with Clara to her camp. I thought that was very exciting because I was very interested about what was going to happen. I mean, she was disgusting looking. I thought maybe she was like a cannibal or something. I definitely thought they might be eating Rick for lunch.
Just Irish. Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the bits about Violet the pig and the sort of interesting, about not naming the pig, but then Carl got on the other kids for naming the zombies. I thought that was interesting. And I loved Rick acting like Andy Griffin, the sheriff who doesn't wear a gun. That was pretty good.
So this was as good as Walking Dead gets for you. This is a perfect episode?
I thought so, and then I really loved the ending where they had that little spin on the new type of infection where the Patrick, the young boy, gets sick and then dies in the shower, and obviously it looks like he turns into a zombie then.
Well, we know that everybody turns if they die, so it doesn't really matter what killed him. He's going to turn into a zombie.
He died pretty quick there. I mean, he was feeling a little sick in the afternoon and staggering, and then he's dead.
Swine flu. Swine flu.
Well, I'm telling you, man, it's Daryl. Whenever you put like a really cool person's cooties on a really dorky guy, I mean, there's just it's like matter and antimatter.
Cootie wars.
Volatile.
I would agree with Sergeant there about the cooties. I don't think it's swine flu because I think swine flu is a nasty chest infection. And this guy didn't seem sick at all except for the end where he was getting woozy. He just it was like bam. It just hit him hard, and he died. Mm-hmm. I think Daryl poisoned him. Yes, with his cooties.
Yeah. How about you, Michael? What did you think of the episode? How many stars out of 10?
I give it an 8.5, and I'd probably give it higher if they explained a little more what they actually meant with what they did in the episode, like with Clara or whatever. I just thought that was kind of random. That's about it.
Just
I didn't really get
random. You mean the whole Rick arc with going back to the camp and whatever?
Yeah, that and why he found like a random gun or something.
Oh, yeah. That was kind of it's like on the one hand, I'm almost glad they didn't explain it because I can kind of guess. I guess some prisoner maybe buried it out in the yard, back when it was an actual working prison and it just got forgotten or left.
No,
you guys are wrong. You're all wrong.
Never happened.
We're wrong.
No, it was just more juxtaposition. It was like the music versus the zombie sounds, or it was like him looking out over the farm, and if you looked past him to the wall, you could see all the 50 caliber holes in the wall. So, him digging in the farm was just juxtaposition about his present life as Farmer Bill, and his old life as a murderer. I just assumed the 45 was dropped by one of the Woodbury crowd when they assaulted the place. That's what I thought.
No, everybody knows that guns don't grow on trees. They're a root crop.
Well, I don't think anybody from Woodbury had a pistol. They all had machine guns and shotguns.
They probably had a few pistols too, though. But still, I don't know how the gun would get buried like that. Looked like it'd been kind of down there for a while.
Yeah.
I get the feeling it was just there to show us that Rick doesn't like guns now, which is, I don't get that either. What do you think, Mike, Mr. Good? How would you think of this episode out of 10?
Oh, I'd give it an 8. I thought it was interesting. I thought there was a juxtapose between the pigs and was it Bob that was the boyfriend, the throwaway boyfriend?
Oh, Zach.
Zach, the one that got bit in the store?
Yes, he got bit.
He was just like a pig. Don't name him. Don't even bother naming him. Put a little placard on his. In fact, there's about 20 people in that they shouldn't even bother naming them. They should just put little placards on them with little numbers. 1, 2, 3, just like the pigs. Don't name them. Don't get close to them. Just name them. I thought that's what I was thinking, that they were comparing certain of the people to pigs because they're not going to last.
That's interesting. That is an interesting, that was kind of a theme in this episode with, don't name the animals, and then Carl's like, don't name the zombies. And then Beth is like, she's just sort of accepted that people are going to die, and it just doesn't really bother her anymore.
Don't get close to them.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird because her argument isn't that you shouldn't get close to people. She says, well, I'm glad I got to know him, and, okay, he's dead now. That's what happens. So it doesn't exactly seem like she didn't get close to him. It just seems like that she's just very sort of accepting as to, whatever happens, happens. Yeah. Well, what do you think, Locutus? What would you give this episode out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 7.
7.
Yeah, it was definitely better than the ending of last year, but I don't know. I think it had a few plot holes, but I don't know. I'm still checking to see if there were some red shirts, if they were wearing any red shirts.
Oh, like literal red shirts?
But not too bad.
My wife thought I should call them red shirts, but I'm going with Expendables for now. What do you think, Expendables or red shirts?
I like Expendables. That's good.
Okay. All right. Okay, and I think we've got a voicemail. Let's go ahead and play that.
Incoming transmission from Matthew Murdoch.
Hello, Station 7. This is Dharma Recruit Matt calling in. Unfortunately, my communication lines to Station 7, the door, have been broken down quite a bit, so I have to just try and leave messages for you all, reporting my observations on The Walking Dead, Season 4, Episode 1. I really liked the Rick story. I don't know why, but I really liked it. Also, I felt for the girl. Also, what the heck killed the pig and the boy? You guys talk about it. Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Yay, thanks, Matt. Thanks for that lovely message. I'm going to go with Daryl. That's going to be my crackpot theory. Daryl killed them both with his redneck cooties. Okay, well, I guess we'll go into what worked and what didn't work.
Wait, you didn't rate it yet, Sergeant.
Oh, you're right. I always forget myself. I would give this episode an 8. I thought it was solid, pretty good. Thought there was some room for improvement in there. I don't remember what I gave the season finale, but I give this episode an 8. I thought it was good, solid episode. Nothing super duper special, but 8. The end. So what worked and didn't work for this episode? What were some things that we liked and some things that we didn't like? What do you think, John?
I think one thing that worked was the good display of evolution of society, that they managed to kind of do and kind of work through at the prison. I think that worked great. Yeah. Seeing that, it seems like that's a functional sub-society that they've got going on there. Yeah. And what didn't work is apparently the shelves in that food mart. Those shelves did not work.
No, they did not. Nice. Okay, what about you, Mr. Bad?
I would second that cheap Southern construction. They probably used, a bunch of rednecks, who were drinking too much Southern comfort while they were constructing the roof there. Yes, I blame non-union workers for that. Blame non-union workers for that. Well, up north we tend to over-engineer. But I give it a 10. I liked everything about it. Of course, it's very possible that my rating was influenced by the appearance of Terry Condon as Crazy Clara, because I recalled her from Rome, where she had a couple of naked scenes. Was very hot. So, but I enjoyed everything. I really liked how Rick had sort of turned a corner there, and was getting sort of a new sense of purpose as a farmer, and turning away. You can see really turning away from the violence, which had really become in season 3 a real big part of Rick. The dictator Rick, who had life and death in his hand. Exactly. And I really thought that was pretty cool about how, you know, Daryl and him are bringing more people they meet into the fold, you know, because you know it's such a dramatic difference, you know, turnaround from the episode Clear, where Rick coldly leaves that hitchhiker, you know, in the cold, and then, you know, comes back to find his bloody corpse, you know, eaten all over the road, and then picks up his backpack and goes.
Yeah.
So it's a real big change, and
well, it is and it isn't though, because, you know, I mean, he is kind of pragmatic about it. He's not doing it, you know, because he's trying to help a bunch of people. He's doing it because he says there's safety in numbers, and the more people you have, you know, the safer one individual tends to be.
Well, that's the real basis for society, is that we're looking out for each other, though. It's not just, you know, a cold calculating, you know, choice. I mean, it's more about because, I mean, you end up putting yourself out for others, too. As much as it's safety in numbers, you know, you have to, it's like that guy, you know, Beth's boyfriend who tried to save that other guy's life and ended up losing his. You know, if he was doing the Shane calculation, he would have been out of there, you know, leave the guy, you know.
Yeah, but with a lot of people around you, that's more people you can kind of push down while you're running away, and then the zombies are distracted. Okay, how about you, Mike? What were some things that worked and didn't work for you about this episode?
Well, before I start, I just want to ask, is it okay if I say something that was talked about on The Talking Dead, but isn't necessarily a spoiler?
Probably.
Okay, like, the one guy was saying that, like, the reason the shelf fell and stuff was because of, like, water that was dripping on it or something. Like, you guys already knew that? I don't know.
The reason what fell?
The reason the shelf fell was because there was water dripping on it for, like, a year or something. I don't know.
Oh, so it was, like, rotted or something.
Yeah, so, but besides that, what I thought worked was not much. I thought, like...
Not much.
Well, let me start with what didn't work. I didn't really think the gun thing worked. Like, I can see now how, like, it could be symbolistic, but when I first watched it, I didn't really get that. I didn't really get Clara. I thought she was just, like, random person.
Well, she is a random person.
Okay, maybe the one thing I thought worked was the door that they made on the prison instead of, like, the original that got knocked down. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, they might have got that idea from Morgan or something with all his traps. You know, they had spikes. I thought that was pretty cool. Leslie didn't work. I think the kid dying in the shower or something. I think that is probably. I mean, you could just think how much bad could come from that. I don't think they should start off episodes with that, but I guess that's just how this season's going to be, so I'll have to find out what happens.
Yeah, I guess we probably will find out what happens. I don't know, they're taking zombies out pretty quick these days, so he probably ain't going to cause too much problems. How about you? How about you, Mike? What do you think? What worked and didn't work?
I'll tell you what worked first. I like the scene in the shopping spree, because it showed that no matter how much they plan, you know, zombies always throw a wrench into their plans. I thought that, you know, zombies raining from heaven was kind of funny, actually. You know, like pennies from heaven, zombies from heaven. But that was neat. You know, no matter how they had a plan, they swept it, they did this, they did that, and they still got overwhelmed, and somebody still got killed.
That's true.
But what I did like about it was that they spun the clock forward 6 months. You know, Carl, I didn't like that. Carl's okay now. He's back to being like, you know, just like a normal little boy who's gone through a zombie apocalypse. He's not the hardened, you know, killer anymore.
Well, I don't know. He might still be.
Well, he doesn't seem to be, you know.
And some of us didn't think there was anything wrong with Carl in the first place.
Well, I'm not judging. I'm just noticing. Okay. And Rick, what the hell's going on with Rick? He joined Green Acres. What the heck is that? You know, they could have showed some kind of transition of him doing that and the formation of the council. They really spun a clock when they could have done some formation on that, the council and some of the things that they just, let out real quick. So I thought the show really shows character development, and I think they did some real quick, character changes there that I would have liked to see develop more, more in-depthly. So.
In some ways, I kind of think they almost have to spin the clock between seasons just because they've got kids on the show, and the kids are going to get noticeably older between seasons.
That's true. That may be, yeah. I think there's some criticism, too, of season 2 on the farm. They didn't really want to have, episode after episode of very slow little things happening.
Let's gradually learn how to farm, and we'll spend 3 episodes building these walls up.
Well, 6 episodes to watch Violet get born and grow into a little piglet and then die.
the touching Charlotte's Web episode, yes.
Yes, I was just thinking of a little spider in her mouth and her spider eggs.
How about you, Locutus? What did you like and dislike about this episode? What worked and didn't work?
Okay. I like the quotes by Herschel. He always has a good, interesting, funny thing to say, where he was giving Rick a hard time. He says, we needed to get you some overalls and a little straw out of your mouth and everything. Give him a hard time. That was good stuff.
That was very clever, by the way he kind of, started in with sort of lighthearted stuff before he got into the subject that he knew Rick wasn't going to really want to hear.
Yeah.
That the council wants you to carry your gun.
Yeah. That worked for me. The actor who plays Herschel is doing an awesome job. Let's see. I like the song at the beginning, and I don't know if it was a country song or like a gospel song or something, but I think it would have worked a little bit better if it would have been like Knocking on Heaven's Door by Guns N' Roses. Because it could say, like, I put my guns in the ground. That would have been really good. When he picked up the gun, that would have been interesting. I think they should have done that. The new people kind of really threw me for a loop. I know it's kind of their Nikki and Paulo moment, but I don't think that worked as well. But I guess if they're just going to be expendable, then it served its purpose. And the one girl's accent, I didn't even get Irish out of it. Maybe I just wasn't listening good enough.
Maybe we should have like a poll or something where we vote for what she is.
What accent it was. I think maybe she wasn't sure what she was going for. And
does anybody know what the actress is?
No.
Does anybody know where the actress is actually from? You're a fan of her, Mr. Bed. Do you know?
Well, didn't she say she was like trying to fly somewhere? From somewhere? I know she was flying to a place, or she was going on vacation.
Yes, she was stuck in the Atlanta airport because Rick was talking to her about he had been there, and they were talking about some of the big statues. The actress, though, actually is Irish. She was born in Ireland.
Aha! I knew it. My Irish detector went off.
Good job. The last thing that didn't work for me was it wasn't a surprise that she was going to attack him. I mean, it just, the setup was there. I just, wondered when it was going to happen. I mean, I wasn't very surprised that her boyfriend or husband or whatever was a zombie. I mean, we pretty much all knew it, that was going to be that way. I wish there would have been a little bit more of a surprise or something more to that effect.
Now here's a question. What you were saying, go on. You had something else, Lucas?
No, I was just saying it just wasn't a very big surprise. I mean, I just kind of assumed that was going to happen. It may just be me, just be my jadedness. I don't know.
I wasn't at any point, worried that Rick might get hurt or killed either. I mean, did anybody actually feel like Rick was in any sort of jeopardy whatsoever?
No. I would agree. Farmer Rick has a little halo of safety surrounding him currently. I don't think he's going to die anytime soon.
Now here's a question, and anybody who knows this answer, pipe up. When Rick asks Clara his 3 questions at the end, I had trouble understanding what she said. Now, the first question was, how many walkers have you killed? And I heard that she said that Eddie killed all the walkers.
Right.
And then he says, how many people have you killed? And I couldn't really understand what she said there.
She says, just me.
Oh, it is just me? Okay.
Just me after she stabs herself, yes. And then he asks why, and she says, you don't get to come back from the things you've done.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have been just me, but then it also sounded like trust me, which made no sense. And I also thought it might have been 2 or 3, which you'd think she'd be more sure. But yeah, okay, just me makes no sense.
Now, I wasn't quite sure if she was telling the truth there or not, because, I mean, she seemed to be really sort of strung out, and I just sort of assumed that she had tricked other people back to her camp and killed them and fed them to her zombie husband. I mean,
I assumed the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because she was really, she was really in a dark place, not just because she was covered in filth, but emotionally from the things she had done and seen. And I just sort of think, that she must have done, killed people. I mean, that's what she was doing to Rick. I mean,
It was a deathbed confession. Come on.
Yeah, she doesn't really have any motive to lie at that point. Yeah. Oh, well. Let's see. What did I like and not like? The helicopter on top of the Big Lots was pretty cool. The door thing, that was pretty cool, where it pushes the zombies on the spikes. I didn't like Rick apparently having an aversion to firearms all of a sudden. That seemed kind of out of the blue. That didn't really make sense to me. And I guess I'm having trouble taking a lot of these new characters seriously because they just kind of feel like they're cannon fodder. But we'll see. We'll see. And that was about all. Yeah.
The zombies dropping from the roof was kind of cool too.
That was kind of cool, but at the same time, like Mike, I found it kind of funny. I don't know if it was supposed to be funny or supposed to be scary, but I found it more funny than scary for some reason.
Yeah, I was laughing. Yeah.
I tell you what, the back of the leg there, that is like the spot that like most people seem to get bit by the zombies these days. I swear. If somebody's going to get nailed by a zombie, look out. It's probably going to be the back of the leg there.
Yep, Herschel. That's where he was bit.
You really want to protect that leg area.
I want to know why people weren't using more duct tape like Milton. I thought that was very effective and very, simple to do,
Uh-huh.
Throw some duct tape around your pants and your arms and, I think would give you some pretty decent protection.
Oh, that's a good idea. If only Milton had lived, he could have spread his wisdom among more people. We missed him already.
By the way, Kerry Condon is from Tipperary, Ireland, if you can believe that. Tipperary, Ireland.
I can believe that. Her accent does strike me as Tipperarian.
Well, for people who really enjoyed this episode, I am very happy to know that it was written by the new showrunner, Scott Gimple, and directed by Greg Nicotero. So, if you like the show, the opening show, I think, hopefully that bodes well. And if you don't like it, well, get over it.
It has not disappointed me yet. It could have been better, but all in all, I was satisfied with it. I was happy and satisfied with it. I was. Let's see. What are the smartest and dumbest things that people did this episode? Smartest, dumbest, without a gun.
Smartest, I would say knife lessons for the kids. That's probably the smartest thing that I think I've seen in the episode. And I guess the dumbest thing was just being so blasé about your boyfriend going off on like an expedition and just, not giving a crap that he's dead and being like, well, whatever. That was pretty dumb. I don't know. I just felt like that was totally stupid.
Speaking of that, Methodic Guy, do you think we're going to have like a love triangle going on with like Beth, Carol, and Daryl now?
I hope not, because somebody's going to die then, because she's got like the touch of death.
Well, Daryl's got the touch of death. He sets the live on his fingers.
the zombie cooties.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Beth really gave Daryl a nice little hug there, and asking if he needed, some attention there to get over the dead people. Yeah, some comfort.
Yeah, it wasn't until the rewatch that I saw that Beth was the one that had the 30 days without an accident sign that I guess she's keeping track of the accidents.
It means everyone's just a number.
I guess. Okay, Ned, smartest dumb.
I'll chime in and agree with what Michael said earlier, noting that I thought the excellent construction of the new gate with those, how do you call them? I'm trying to think of the name. Abatis. There's a name for that old type of logs with the spikes in them.
Yeah, those spiky jacks. They look like jack, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those were excellent. I think if they could just make more of those, that would actually be great for the whole perimeter, or at least as much of the perimeter as they could, put them around. But
yeah, help keep them off the fences. Yeah.
Yeah. Or even, not even if they weren't as good as that, they could at least throw, poles through the fence, as sharpened poles through the fence, to try to catch some, so that they don't just press against the fence. But
that's true. You think they could just angle a pole through the chain link and anchor it in the ground at one end, angled up, and they would just kind of ride up right out onto the poles as they try to get to the fence. Good idea. They should do that.
So I thought they definitely put some thought into the gate, and they seem to be well organized. The dumbest thing I would guess I would have to. Well, I won't say Daryl. I'll say Carl. Carl pissing off the cute young girl at his age, like telling her not to name the zombies, That was pretty dumb, because I think he has no shot at Beth, who's much older than he is, so he's really,
Beth is available again.
Oh, no.
I don't think he's got a shot at Beth. Okay. All right. What do you think, Michael? Smartest,
dumbest. I think the smart things had to do with, like, obviously I already said the gate. I said that back in things that wasn't big work. But other smart things were, like, the farm. And I think that really has to do with what Herschel said back near the beginning of season 3, like, we can have seed here, that kind of stuff. I mean, I think really that time, although it's like that, there's like 6 or 7 months that it could come like pretty hard because we don't really know what's going on. But it also could show us, like, experiment with new ideas in the show, like, you know what I mean, and get rid of some problems and add new ones, like this new virus or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Dumbest things, I think, were, I mean, this was pretty cool, but I thought that the zombies falling through the ceiling was pretty stupid, in my personal opinion. I don't know why. It's just, I just didn't really like it. I thought it was too much of a twist. I mean, I think we all saw it coming, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay. And how about you, Mike?
Oh, I thought the farm was the best thing. You know, finally somebody's got a brain and says, "Oh, I'm going to grow food." Well, going back a couple episodes, the one guy says it always comes down to food. Who said that? Morgan. I mean, Morgan. And they're always having to go out and get stuff, and food is one of the things. And if you grow your food, you know, you cut down on your exposure to the zombies. But the dumbest thing, well, good God, did anybody notice the flood, the literal flood of zombies that is surrounding this fence now? They're so we have people clearing the fence. It's not so bad, you know, if you stay at it. You have to keep at it, or they really pile up on it. It's like, good God, where are they coming from? Do something about it.
I thought that too.
Take some music and get them to go somewhere else. You know, I mean, they seem smart about stuff, but they're dumb. Like they got everybody in a jail, and now they're surrounded by a flood of zombies. So they don't seem worried about it.
Music somewhere else might maybe draw off ones that haven't come out of like the trees yet, but as for the ones that are already there, like seeing food walking around behind the fence, I doubt they're gonna leave while all that food is walking around back there. But it would maybe prevent more from coming in, whatever is drawing them in. Okay, what do you think, Locutus?
I really like the way they did the gate, the triangle gate there, that big orange gate. It's kind of like a wedge triangle shape, and that's a perfect shape for defense, I thought.
Yeah.
And it even rebounded a few zombies off to the side, and they got kind of pushed up against the little palisade points that they had. So I thought that was a really good idea for defense. But I think the flood of zombies was a little bit much too. I mean, it's Georgia. Most people are inside their house. You know, zombies would mostly be inside houses. It's real hot there. And I think, by now they've killed thousands and thousands of zombies. I mean, where are all these zombies coming from? Unless they're coming from all different states. I mean, that could be possible too, but
goddamn Northerners coming down.
Northerners moving in here. Carpetbaggers.
and really, Georgia is by the ocean. They should really go towards a area that on one side at least has beach. There wouldn't be any zombies coming through the ocean.
That's true. Of course, then you get backed up against the water. If a whole bunch come at you, you can't get away.
Well, you just get on a boat, you know? Go to a marina. A marina would be a perfect defense area.
Well, that could work. Let's see. All right, and my smartest, dumbest. Let's see. The door is a good one. Just to be different, I'm going to say the snares were a smart thing. Just like growing your own food is a smart thing to do, so is setting traps to catch animals that you can eat. Although, I mean, it's kind of smart and kind of dumb because I guess if you're not pretty quick about checking those snares and get those animals, the zombies are just going to bite them and contaminate the meat, and it might even draw more zombies in. So could be smart, but at the same time, there's some risk involved. For dumbest, I'm going to say the Irish woman stabbing herself. To me, that was dumb. I just don't understand that kind of behavior, that she wants to stab herself to death and become a zombie to be with Eddie. That's just not reasonable. So I'm going to say that was dumb. Questions raised by this episode. Anybody got any mysteries or questions I think were raised? I would say the obvious ones are...
Yeah, the infection. I mean, that, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
That's basically the two things I got to write down. What killed Violet and what killed Patrick. And it sounds like Mike is going with swine flu. Is that right, Mike?
Oh, definitely going with swine flu, yeah.
Do you think swine flu killed both of them?
The pig and the boy, yes.
How do you think Patrick caught the swine flu?
I think he's a pig lover.
So your theory is that Patrick had sex with the pig. My theory is that Derek
the pig. I think he was just riding the pig, or taking care of the pig, and
riding the pig.
Contact with the pig. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Or the trough.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was like totally fine at the beginning of the day, but then like at the end of story time, he was like total trash. Like, it didn't happen that fast.
Yeah, well, it's always possible. I mean, a lot of times if you catch a disease, it might be a few days before you actually start to feel bad and show signs of it. So it's not terribly unusual. We don't know when he caught it, so we don't actually know how quickly it took him down. But once it did start showing signs, yeah, I mean, that was pretty dang quick. I don't know how quick swine flu works, but, I mean, Daryl cooties are pretty quick. Yeah. I mean, that's much quicker. Anybody else got any theories about the infection or anything else? Any theories about these things, or questions about other questions the show raised? Anything? Anybody?
Well, couldn't it be a new variety of infection, right? Because I mean, if a simple bite turns you, because it's like, let's think about this: death or a bite turns you, right?
Right.
Maybe now it's been long enough that there's some sort of like evolution of things that now there's a third vector, which is, I don't know, like blood in the eye. Because what was that British zombie flick with like 30, 28 days? Yeah, that guy got like a drop of blood in his eye socket, and that's all he needed. So maybe there's like a evolution of a third vector.
Okay.
It looked like one of the zombies had that too. One of the zombies that kept staring at Rick.
Oh yeah, the one Rick kept seeing. You mean?
It had real red eyes.
That guy was creepy. I think that symbolizes though that the zombies were piling up.
Yeah, with red eyes.
One thing I've seen of them killing these zombies at the fence and Tyrese talking to Karen is obviously they don't have strict blood control, because Karen was covered with blood and gave, Tyrese a nice big wet kiss, with all that blood covered with her,
Okay, she's got an apron on.
But she had blood all over her chest and her face.
Gloves.
I mean, I thought at least they would have, like, if not a surgical mask, at least a bandana and some plastic over their eyes or something to try to keep the blood splatter out.
Yes, I agree.
It was easy to find goggles, at a hardware store.
I was going to say there should be a fair number of riot helmets at the prison with riot shields that, close every face so prisoners can't spit on you. So, yeah. I'd like to see this maybe at a hardware store, you were saying?
Yeah, and going back to my thing about the duct tape, I really was disappointed at this point that people don't have, like, their own sort of ad hoc zombie armor, whether it's soccer, guards, just some of those shin guards, anything, simple and lightweight that won't make it tie you down, weigh you down too much, and won't make it too hot, because Atlanta it's very hot. But I mean, there's some simple stuff you could do that plastic or duct tape that wouldn't be too heavy, that would be pretty effective in stopping a zombie bite.
I was trying to figure out if Sasha was wearing something that she had made, because it didn't look quite the same as the armor that Glenn had on. Was that something that she had put together, or was that some kind of thing that she found? Anybody notice that?
I can't say I noticed it.
Yeah, the police riot armor was the best.
Yeah, well, like Mr. Bad says, though, it is kind of bulky and unwieldy in some ways. if you just wrapped a bunch of duct tape around your trousers and arms.
Well, if you're behind the fence, it should be fine.
Oh yeah. Especially with like a helmet with just a face shield that comes down. Okay. Oh, the only other question that I had listed for questions raised is, how long do we think all these expendable characters will last? Does anybody think some of these guys are, going to be like permanently with us for a while, or do you think all these?
I was laughing at you laugh.
Anybody care to make any wagers as to how long these new guys are gonna be with us?
Whenever they get their centric episode.
I think there's gonna be 25 of them dead by the end of the season.
25.
25, yeah.
Why 25? That's kind of specific.
Well, there's already, 2 dead or 1 dead? I don't know. I think it's 2, right? Yeah.
Well, we don't even know how many there are. Do you think some of them will survive the season, or do you think they'll all be dead by the end of the season?
I think some will survive. I mean, this is definitely probably a step into them becoming a bigger group. I mean, but the way they're killing them off, I think it's going to be only go downhill.
Okay. Anybody else got any want to weigh in on the Expendables?
I would real quick. I would say you're going to have a couple new characters that might hang out through the season. Tyree, Karen. But I think you're going to see a bloodbath come. You're going to, in the next 3-4 episodes, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Nice. Okay. Oh no. I guess we all imagine that the governor is going to show up again at some point, right? They're going to find him somewhere. He's going to show up back.
42 minutes to quarantine failure.
Very amusing.
I would disagree a little bit with the bloodbath part. I think, it's going to end with a whimper, not so much a bang. I think, there's going to be threat of infection, and it's going to have a practical effect that people are going to get sick and probably die. But it's also going to have the effect, I would say, I'll say this for my prediction, but I would predict that people will get panicked. They'll be afraid both of the zombies, but of other people. They won't know, is this a disease that somebody has, like the plague, and they got to worry about the other people around them, or is it a disease you're getting from the zombies? Or, the fact that everybody's infected with the zombie disease, it really makes it a possibility of, if it's, mutated in people, well, then you got to worry about being next to people.
Are we talking about an STD here?
Well, in a sense, yes, but not sexually transmitted, but just, person-to-person contact. That would be a very reasonable reason for me to flee the prison, because you would want to try to isolate yourself both from the zombies but from other people.
Or maybe he could just push it off as like a bad fever that he had. I don't know.
I kind of see where Mr. Bad's coming from. If the prison just kind of gets a reputation for being like someplace where disease is, and they can't really figure out, what the infection is or how to stop it, then, I could see people thinking their only recourse is to leave the prison and go somewhere else and hopefully leave that disease behind.
Yeah, it's a very small and very enclosed area, and I tell you one thing: when that Patrick, reanimates and starts wandering down the prison halls and probably starts biting on some sleeping people, people are going to panic. I wouldn't be surprised to have them locking the cell doors to make sure that people who die overnight, and turn into zombies get isolated.
Yeah. Well, it's probably not a bad idea to keep those doors closed during the night anyway.
I have another question.
Sure.
How long do you think the fence is going to hold?
Well, you mean, do I think the zombies will actually just push it down?
Yeah. That's what I think. I think I could have said this back in Smartest Dumbest. Like, they should reinforce the fence instead of just like those wooden pole things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to say that they're not going to knock it down. Hopefully they'll smarten up and actually reinforce the fence. But I'm going to say that they're not going to knock it down. The fence will stay up. But we'll see.
I'll answer my own question later.
Okay. Are you going to say the predictions?
No, not really. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Well, let's see. Anybody got a quote of the week? The only thing I've got is Patrick's calling Carl young sir. That just really struck me as odd phrasing for some reason. Anybody else got one? Methodic John, Mr. Bad, anybody?
Well, I think everybody should agree that Rick's 3 questions are the best quote. You know, how many walkers have you killed? How many people? And especially in regard to Clara, where she says, just me. And then she says, why? And then she comes back with, you don't get to come back from the things you've done. And I think that's really the main theme of, I think they were talking about that being the theme for this season. And maybe the whole show. You know, last season, you know, you saw Carl sort of becoming that way, you know, hardening up and losing his innocence. And in the beginning of this episode, you see that Rick sort of came back from the killer, you know, the kind of Shane-like person that Shane wanted him to become. He came back from that, and that, I think that explains his reticence to pick up a gun now, because he's felt a responsibility of life and death, actions, and he's not comfortable with it anymore, especially in this society where, you know, you need to make those decisions quite a bit.
Yeah. I guess time will tell.
Grab your washcloth. Get ready for the bloodbath.
Will Rick have his gun on when the bloodbath begins? Will that be his wake-up call? Oh, guns are actually pretty cool after all. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Somebody had some Herschel quotes, didn't they? Was it Locutus that...
I can't remember the exact quote, but I remember him saying something like, we'll have to get you your overalls, get you your straw in your mouth, and in a big old butt.
A bigger butt, yeah.
Bigger butt, yeah.
Get that butt crack when he bends over to do the weeding.
Yep. My wife had a strong reaction to seeing Herschel walk up. She's like, hey, wait, how's he walking? She was annoyed that his peg leg wasn't more obvious, I guess. But
when he bends over, you can see the
metal, a little metal under his pant leg there. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I guess we're ready to go into the Walker of the Week.
Walker of the Week.
Okay, this is the award we give to our favorite Walker for the week, or to a character we think behaves no better than a Walker. Methodic John, what you got?
What's this girl's name that was trying to feed Rick to her husband?
Clara.
Clara, the Irish.
The Irish chick. That's who I vote for.
Jolly good. And how about you, Mr. Bad?
I'm going to second Methodic John's, nomination of Clara. Although I think about it, she really wasn't evil. She sort of turned to that dark place that, like Jackie, from when she stayed in the CDC with the doctor, and Jim, like when Jim, is starting to die, he does the same thing. He says, leave me die and become a zombie so I can look, try to find my family. So,
Jackie and Jim didn't try to feed anybody to a zombie, though.
Well, that's true, but if you can at least believe the last statement, she did not do that before. I mean, she's sort of, it's sort of her being at the end of her rope and maybe recognizing that everything she's had is gone. Because she's sort of the only rationale she had for continuing her life was sort of to take care of her husband. He became the reason that she was sort of, persevering. And, somebody points out the fact that your husband's just, a bunch of dead flesh in a bag, so maybe you'll lose what little motivation you had.
But she's still getting your vote, Mr. Bad?
Yes, Clara gets my vote for Walker of the Week.
Okay, Michael.
My Walker of the Week was this one guy that fell through the roof and, all his intestines, were hung there. Did you see that?
Yes. I was wondering whether intestines could really hold up a human body like that, too, but yes.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was pretty gross and cool at the same time.
That was pretty cool. I also like the way you said intestines. That was pretty good, too.
Okay.
Mike?
I would definitely go with the intestinal spider guy. Yeah.
Spider?
Yeah. Spider-Man. No, that was cool. That was him flailing around with his intestines hanging him up there. That was cool. Yeah.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that one zombie? There were two. There was one. It was one of the two that landed on his head, and his legs just totally spread out at right angles, almost as if it was a dummy and not an actual zombie, almost like it was sort of some sort of fake thing that special effects guys dropped through the roof. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah, lots of zombies went splat, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't recall the splayed zombie, no.
Yeah, there was one splayed zombie that was, it just really, I don't know, odd to me. Okay, Locutus, what's your Walker of the Week?
I'm gonna give it a tie between the one that had his head kind of split in half. I wasn't sure how they were going to deal with that, and then I'm going to give it to the one in the bag. The zombie. I think Barney.
Eddie.
Eddie. What was his name?
Eddie.
Well,
Ernie.
I just thought, how hard would that be to get a zombie in a bag? I mean, and not get bit. That would have to be the hardest thing. And
it'd be pretty hard.
And it didn't even look like a zombie. It just looked like just random little. I don't know. I wasn't sure. Maybe we'll find out.
It was barely moving.
Maybe there's just zombie parts in there. I'm not sure.
Actually, I was a little annoyed that Rick didn't put those two zombies down. That seems a little bit irresponsible, but whatever.
Maybe we'll find out next week.
Yes. Well, or will we? I suspect we won't see the Irish zombies ever again, but we shall see. And my Walk of the Week, I will also give it to Clara. I think she definitely behaved in a manner no better than a walker, particularly since she was trying to feed somebody to walkers. So that's pretty much walker behavior right there. So she gets it. And up next is the Roger Award.
Roger, there's a lot to get done before you can afford to lose me. Roger. We got this, man. We got this by the ass. Roger, move! Let's go, baby. You all right? Perfect, baby. Perfect. Roger! Roger, watch it!
Okay, this is the award we give, and we finally have lots of people that should really qualify for this award. This is the award we give to the character who kicked the most ass in the episode, but who we think has a pretty significant chance of getting killed off at some point during the story, or perhaps even did get killed during this episode. So who gets your Roger Award? Methodic John.
So what's the name of the guy that made the shell, put the liquor bottle back and knocked the shelves down and made a huge mess?
Oh, that was Bob, the ex-medic.
Bob, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He gets my Roger vote.
Okay.
He's not going to make it long being stupid like that. Bad luck, being stupid. He's gone soon.
He's not a real man of action so far. A lot of standing around and looking at things and not a whole lot of action. Okay, Mr. Rad.
I'm going to say Tyrese's little bit of crumpet, Karen. She was doing a good job of killing zombies on the fence there, and really was, wasn't very dainty. She was basically covered in blood, and so I think it's not gonna. Tyrese is not gonna have a happy ending in regards to that. I think he's gonna lose her pretty quick.
Okay, and Michael.
I think I'm just gonna give mine to what's his name, Bob, as well. But I don't think he's stupid. I think obviously he was fighting an addiction, and it turned out pretty bad.
Yeah.
But he should have just put it on the floor or something.
Okay. 10-4. Mike.
I feel really bad. I'm going to have to agree with Mr. Bad.
You don't like agreeing with Mr. Bad?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Karen deserves it. She was slaughtering zombies with a passion.
She was.
And, and then goes right from that to kissing them, and with the gloves on and the goo.
Yeah.
You have to admire that,
Right on. Right on. She has adapted. What do you think, Locutus? Who gets your award?
Jeez. I don't know. Maybe Carl. I don't know. He kind of, I don't know. He was just kind of the cool cat this time, and I don't know. He didn't really see much action, but I don't know. He's going to do something here coming up soon.
And you think there's a chance he might get killed off?
Yeah, I think he could get hurt maybe. I don't know. Okay. I think he might, because he was in contact with that Patrick kid a lot. So I think Carl is going to get sick. And maybe that Bob, the medic guy, is going to come up with some kind of way to fix me, maybe. I don't know.
Could be. And I will give my award to Carol as well. I'd say she kicked the most ass of the Expendables so far, and she certainly has a high likelihood of getting killed at some point. So yeah, she gets mine. And we'll move into zombie behavior.
I'll take your questions.
There's a man going around taking names.
These creatures cannot be considered. They prey on humans. They do not prey on each other. These creatures are nothing but pure, motorized instruments. We must not be lulled by the concept that these are our family members or our friends. They are not.
It's our planet, kingdom come.
Okay, this is it's like, somebody say something? Ooh, I'm getting an echo. Let me shut up for a second, see if that goes away. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think it might have gone away now. This is the segment where we attempt to identify any new things we might have noticed about the zombies. Did anybody notice anything about the zombies worth mentioning?
Yes.
Ooh, what you got in front, John?
I mean, we've talked about this. It's been I'd say it's been a good while, but, the consensus is that, or the expectation is that they would start to, quote, deteriorate. And I guess we're just not seeing that. In my opinion, I don't feel like we're seeing that level of deterioration. I mean, one could say that we're not seeing the ones that are really deteriorated because they can't walk anymore. But it's just, I mean, that helicopter probably crashed an awful long time ago, I would say. And that would probably be at the beginning of the situation. It just doesn't seem like those guys were, as deteriorated as I guess I would expect. I mean, one guy kind of fell apart, but in general, it felt like they were all, doing pretty good for themselves.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Do we? I'm curious everyone's kind of take on that.
Well, let's see. I remember Milton talking about how a zombie that couldn't eat anymore would starve eventually. And, I mean, when you starve to death, your body essentially begins to waste away. But he said that they're doing it, slower than a regular person would starve. So maybe the deterioration is slowed to some degree. Maybe they don't need as much energy to sort of maintain themselves. So maybe decay doesn't, progress as quickly as it does. Anybody else got any insight?
Well, it's like they have unlimited energy. Couldn't you, hook them up to strings and make energy with them or something? Put a stake in front of them? That's what I was thinking.
Use them to plow the field.
Frozen donkey wheel.
Frozen donkey wheel. Yeah.
And the polar bears.
Yes. They can be the new polar bears. Yeah, you can hook some plows up to them and just have Carl walk around in front of them and plow those fields.
I had made that suggestion earlier, by the way. I had predicted that earlier that you
failure.
would see zombies, used as pack mules plowing the field.
Oh, yes, we did. Well, we did already see zombies used as pack mules by Michonne. I can't remember if your prediction was...
no, it was specifically about plowing the field.
Oh, it was? Okay. Well, maybe we'll still see that. We'll see it. Okay. Well, let's see. What else? I also
wanted to say...
Yeah,
I was going to say zombies tend to just start to be walking into things like the prison fence instead of I don't know if you remember, but all the way back in I think it was the finale of season 2 where they're tearing down the farm fence. That instead of walking into it, their hands are moving randomly and somehow they're tearing it down. I don't know.
Yeah, they got they can pull their guts out too.
Now, with them being attracted to the big sound on the roof, that's not really different, but it's really emphasizing the sound.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could definitely use it. Humans could use it to their advantage.
You kind of think if they were up there on that roof for a long time, a lot of them would just kind of eventually sort of stumble off the roof, right? I mean, they'd walk up to the edge and just fall off.
Excellent point.
But they don't. There's a lot of them up there, so maybe they don't just sort of randomly necessarily just walk into whatever. Maybe there is some sort of
self-preservation or something?
Maybe. Yeah.
I would agree with Mike there. I think they would have heard the boombox and would have moved toward the boombox and then fallen off the roof because
that's true.
They don't care about impaling themselves into spikes when they're going for food. I don't think they would know really that they can't walk on air or I can fly.
Well, that's an interesting point. They definitely will run themselves right up onto a spike when they're going for food. But if it's not food, maybe if it's just some other sort of stimulus that they haven't identified as, that's definitely food that I'm going to eat, maybe they're less inclined to just walk right up onto spikes and stuff like that or walk right off the ledge. Because, we do notice those spiky logs they put outside the door there, they don't have any zombies on them until they actually push them onto the spikes with the door. If all zombies are just milling around, you'd think some of them would get on those things. But so maybe they do have.
They're collars.
Well, yeah, maybe they do have some rudimentary, sense about where to walk and where not to walk, unless there's food in play. Anything else? Any other observations? Let's see. Things that I noticed. Obviously, Eddie is not moving very much at this point. And
not doing so well.
Yeah. And Clara implies that it's because that he's starving. So maybe as the zombies, do get less and less to eat, maybe they'll eventually just kind of not become a threat anymore. If there's nothing to eat, maybe they'll stop moving. I guess that's kind of logical.
Well, wait a minute. Then why wouldn't we have seen that same behavior on the roof?
I don't know.
I feel like there's conflicting
maybe it didn't take long enough. Well,
no, those guys have been baking for a while.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that that Zombie Eddie's been starving, for any longer time than the guys on the reef have been. So, yeah, it doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah, there was half of a guy on the ground and then half of a zombie up on the roof. How did that happen? I'm wondering.
Probably got cut in half. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, that could be a symptom of just a crash. Yeah, guy could have gotten chopped like that when the helicopter crashed. The only other thing I noticed was something I think we have noticed before, that when somebody dies and come back with a zombie, immediately when they come back, their eyes are super duper messed up zombie style. There's no sort of transition there. Immediately the eyes are, very obviously not human looking anymore.
Well, could you use Shane for that? You remember Shane was like they actually went to him like with his zombie socks and I don't know.
His eyes are more like a white color, but I noticed this episode the eyes are more reddish.
Yeah.
It may just be a different special effects team. That may not be.
It does almost kind of seem like in the later seasons the eyes are more like it's like the pupil is like not a pupil anymore. It's like the whole eye is like all blotchy now. Whereas in the first, like when Amy revived, her eyes actually looked like eyes. They were like yellowish or something, but you could still see the pupils and stuff, as I recall. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just a change in the artistic direction or something. It's the disease. It's evolving. Okay. I guess the next thing up is what will you do to survive?
Give me that dog.
What do you mean?
I mean, give me that dog.
What are you going to do with him? You can't open the doors to let him out. The bomb's liable to go off.
That dog's got to go. We're going to need every bit of air to breathe ourselves. After a while, we'll be laying on the floor to get fresh air.
But he's just a little dog. He doesn't breathe.
We can't have him here.
No.
Dog's got to go.
Don't you touch
Give me
him.
that.
Wait a minute.
Won't do you any good to cry. It's all over. A little while, you'll be thanking me. Getting rid of that dog's going to help an awful lot.
Oh, my God.
You'll be glad we don't have that extra pair of lungs when you're laying here gasping for breath.
Failure.
So, this week's scenario is you and your loved one have been surviving on the road in the zombie apocalypse. Your loved one's been caring for you and killing a bunch of zombies, and oops, they got bitten and they turned into a zombie. So you're basically in Clara's situation. What do you do? What's your game plan? What you gonna do? Without a John.
Kill your husband and move on.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
15 minutes to quarantine failure.
My goodness.
He's a liability at this point,
There you go.
And she's clearly not strong enough to really handle him if he gets loose effectively, I would say.
Might be hard to get him back in that bag.
Yeah.
Steve.
Oh, I would pull a bullet through my loved one's head and bury them. Or maybe burn them, maybe give them a Viking funeral. But I definitely would not allow... I mean, I would just be disgusted. It's like it's worse than keeping someone as a vegetable on a respirator. I mean, think about it. It's horrible. They're in this disgusting, decayed state, and they have no consciousness. And what do you get from that? Not much.
Sounds like a typical marriage.
And Michael, what do you do?
I would pull a season 1 where they had those organs and stuff all over them, and they were blending in with the zombies. And I just walk up and try to find a survivor place, and hopefully they recognize I'm not a zombie before they try to claim me. I don't know.
So not only would you kill your loved one, you would smear your loved one's guts all over your body so that you could...
Exactly. It's a genius.
Excellent. That way
put your loved one's head on a spike and string it up to your backpack. Yes.
Okay, Mike, you're up. What would you do?
I'd go with the amputation. No matter how severe. That way, if they died from the amputation, well, at least you tried.
I got you. So yeah, okay, they get bit, so you try to amputate things. Yeah.
No matter what, to get amputated on the bit on the neck. Well, you did the best you can.
Yeah.
You cut around, but.
That's right.
I think somebody just wants to hit their loved one with an axe, like 30 times. Was that famous axe murderess from Boston?
Lizzie Borden.
Pull a Lizzie Borden, give her 30 whacks. Yeah.
Whack, whack, whack.
Incidentally, was anyone else besides me a little disturbed that nobody popped Zach in the head while the zombies were eating him alive?
Oh, I thought that when he first bit him, it was in the leg. Like if they were fast acting, they could have pulled a Herschel and cut off his leg and killed the zombie, and it would have been done. But then they're all staring there for 5 seconds, and then he's bit in the neck, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
Well, the whole building did collapse, so.
Yeah. They just didn't want Beth to have that boyfriend. Conspiring against Beth, but then Beth doesn't seem to care either, so who cares? Look, Cutis, what would you do?
And 2 words: run away.
Run away. So you wouldn't kill your loved one or anything? You would just run away?
No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. No.
Okay, and I would.
Nobody.
Kill my loved one.
No,
my loved one and bury them. What?
That would just be. I don't know. It's just how could you do it? They're a real living human being. I don't know. Even the zombie apocalypse, they were. I would just run away.
Oh, okay. Well, that works. And I would kill my loved one and bury them, just like I think that was Mr. Bad said he would do that. So yeah, I would do that.
I think that's a possibility for a post-apocalyptic. Lawyer, something for a lawyer to do. You can create living wills for dead people, zombie wills to prevent people from coming into zombies.
Law and Order, special zombie unit.
So it'd be like not a living will, but a living dead will, I guess.
A living dead will. Yes. When I die, shoot me in the head. Yes. And you can specify where to shoot him and how many parts you want chopped off before giving up.
And whether or not your loved one has permission to smear your guts all over them to make.
Yes.
Okay.
I think Michonne didn't actually kill her. Until later. She used them as pets, right?
Yes, she did. And pack mules.
Then she cut their heads off.
Yep, then she cut their heads off.
They were making too much noise or something. Yeah. Oh,
okay,
I wonder why she didn't get any more. It worked before.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea. Maybe it was too much special effects or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why she didn't do that again. She didn't do it in the comics either. Okay, you guys ready to move into predictions?
Yes.
Let's do that. Predictions.
The Dharma Initiative called it the lamppost.
This man and his team created a series of equations which tell us with a high degree of probability where it is going to be at a certain point in time.
Event window determined. Extrapolating sound and vision.
Predictions. This is the section where we each give a prediction of something we think is going to happen, preferably during the course of this season. So we have we can more easily, tell whether or not the person's prediction has actually come true or it is not going to come true. So, Methodic John, what is your prediction this week?
I am going to predict that the two walkers that Rick left in the woods will come to the fence eventually and kind of hang out for a few minutes.
Okay, Irish walkers will come to the fence. Okay, and Steve.
My prediction is after zombie Patrick bites at least one or two people and they have chaos inside the prison, Farmer Rick will walk outside, splash water in his face, and go to his duties and find Violet, the zombie pig, has eaten the other pigs.
Are there other pigs?
Yes, there were.
Yeah, it was like a mini pig, like mini pig, a small pig.
Okay, Patrick will bite people, make chaos. Rick will
Have we ever seen a zombie animal?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that animals will actually become zombies. What a horrific thing that would be. I mean, then you only have food you can grow because, every animal is being consumed by every other animal.
Like zombie boars, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Bad predicts zombie pig. Zombie pig. Does whatever zombie pig does. Okay, Mike.
I predict, I'm going to go with what Michael did. I've seen some of the spoilers too, so I'm going to predict that one of the little girls has been making pets out of the zombies and been feeding them rats, and that's what's been causing the zombies to crowd around certain parts of the fence.
Okay. One of the little girls has been feeding the fence zombies rats, which is causing the crowding. Does that sound about right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, cutest.
I'm going to say Carl, we become infected with some kind of a weird disease that Patrick had. Or it could be, I'll just say Herschel has to come to everybody's rescue. He's got to come up with some kind of cure for that disease.
Okay. Specifics, Carl. So Carl will become infected with Patrick Cooties, and Herschel will help solve the infection problem?
Yep.
Okay. Herschel will solve infection problem. Okay. All right. And I will predict that by the end of the season, Rick will lose the prison.
Oh, that's a great prediction there. You're really going out on a limb there, Sergeant.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he will or not.
Oh, jeez.
That's a pretty expensive set. I mean, some of the speculation out there is that that AMC is going to make him keep it for quite a while, but I still think he's going to lose it by the end of the season.
2 words: blood bath.
That's actually more of a connected. Oh.
I don't think your dad was making a prediction. He was just commenting about my prediction.
And something has to blow up by the end of the season also.
No, can I give you my prediction now?
You bet.
Okay, this is pretty bad. My prediction is by the end of the season there's going to be less people than at the beginning.
What, like on planet Earth?
Yes, on planet Earth. That's my prediction.
I don't know if that's quantifiable, though. I mean, how can we really know that?
Well, I
Just
think
one day. Yeah, one death will prove that one out.
How about just in the prison? How about that? Because it's always possible, like, more people could arrive and we'd have more people.
Yeah, definitely just in the prison. I think that in the coming episode, a lot of people are going to die, but I also think that, maybe a bunch of groups are going to come. And in the spoiler section, I'll say a lot, okay?
Okay. Well, for your prediction, you're going to predict less people in the prison than right now?
Yeah. I don't have much.
Okay. No problem.
There could be a lot of births.
There could be. What was a blood bath?
Blood bath.
Jeez. I think it's time for the spoiler quarantine. So let's go into our spoiler section.
Initiating spoiler quarantine.
Okay, Michael, it definitely sounded like you had something, so let her rip. What you got?
Okay, I have a lot. First off, there was a preview on Talking Dead, and it showed someone feeding rats to the prison, or like the zombies on the outside. And there was another preview in the either the second episode or the coming episodes where I think Karen noticed, look, there's dead rats over here. I think someone's been feeding these bastards, or like something like that. And it's also shown in like trailers that zombies are pushing over the fence. It's getting knocked over. And I think I even saw, who was the kid that got infected? Like Peter or something?
Patrick. Yeah, Patrick.
I think I saw him getting killed by Daryl, but I think you hear Herschel say in the trailer that we lost 12 people.
Oh, okay.
I think that's it.
Okay, all right. Anybody else got anything? No. Okay, well, I think it's pretty obvious. I think it's pretty obvious that we're gonna.
8 minutes to quarantine failure.
Okay, that's something different. I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to see the governor again at some point. Because
Hey! No spoilers.
No spoilers section. He's like on the friggin' cover art for this season. So I kind of wonder if maybe we finally are going to get like some version of the rest of the comic, version of the prison arc. The governor's going to show up and
in a tank.
Stuff. Yeah, everybody.
I think he's gonna find cannibals, and he's gonna show up with a cannibal, group.
Maybe.
He's gonna show up in a tank that's run by human flesh.
Human flesh tank. Just run on zombie diesel. Yes. Nice.
Well, speaking of, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, after the spoiler section, I thought of something else. Never mind.
After the spoiler section.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike.
15 seconds to quarantine failure.
Mike, it sounded like your prediction was pretty much purely based on the spoiler.
7. Oh, mine did. Yeah, it really was. Yeah.
That's Thanksgiving.
Boo! Yes. I really blew. Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
But I did it. I predicted it was the girl though who was feeding the rats to the.
That's true.
Yeah. I was explaining who was feeding them to them.
Oh yeah. Okay. Wink. Cinema. Okay, Methodic John, we're out of the spoiler section now. So what did you have?
Didn't somebody use gasoline in this episode?
Yeah, they used it to fill up the cars right before they were going to go on the run. Daryl had like a gas can that he was like sloshing around and stuff.
All right, so I mean, are we just assuming these guys are treating the gas, or is it just those rules of physics don't apply? Because gasoline does break down pretty quickly. It's like, we've had a couple seasons, right? Like, what's it been, 2 years now?
That's true. Yeah, they could be using some fuel stabilizer on it. But yeah, that's still only going to last a certain amount of time, I want to say.
I mean, it's even kind of hard to start the lawnmower with your old gas that's been sitting in the shed,
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I'm trying to think if you can. Does anybody know if you can keep treating gas with fuel stabilizer every so often to keep it good, or does the stabilizer only work for a certain amount of time, even if you put more stabilizer in? Anybody know?
I think once you treat it, you're fine. The trouble is, once it's gone bad, treating it doesn't help it.
Well, no, you'd have to treat it before it went bad. That's true.
Right. So I think once you treat it, you're okay for quite a while. But the stock that they're finding probably hasn't been treated. So
maybe they're using some Dharma beer.
There you go.
Well, I wonder if
it lasts like 30 years.
I mean, I know if you just let it sit in a tank, you can end up with situations where water collects at the bottom. But if you drain it out, would it be possible to, mix it up or something, and then it would be good again? Or
you get sludge You get like solids too.
Warning: 4 minutes to quarantine failure. Initiate countermeasures.
Well, looks like this is pretty much the end of the podcast. And that's pretty much all I had left on my list of stuff to cover. Does anybody have anything else that you want to talk about real quick before we end the show?
Do we do Word of the Weeks on this show?
Yes, we have not done the Word of the Week this week.
I need to find another one. I kind of ran out, and I don't have one for this week. I'll try to get one for next week.
Oh no.
Maybe I'll get Alex to do up another list of words for us. Anybody want to plug anything?
I can think of a few people I'd like to plug.
Yeah, crazy Clara Condon playing Clara, yes.
Well, as Karen DeGroot herself has written, careful observation is the only key to true and complete awareness. The next tour of duty will last 1 week, and during that time you will observe The Walking Dead, a sociological experiment in progress. What is the nature of the experiment, you might ask? What do these subjects believe they are accomplishing as they struggle to fulfill their task? Perhaps you, as the observer, could find out. Each time your hate mail is filled with the fruits of your diligent observation, you send it to Station 7, the door, at gmail.com, and presto, we transported directly to us. Or you can leave a voicemail at 252-377-1087. We encourage our listeners to leave instant reactions to episodes. We'll play those and any other voicemails at the start of our podcast. You can visit us at losttv-forum.com. You can find us on Facebook now also. We have a Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Station7, the door. Or follow us on Twitter. I'm at Sergeant Drano. Sam, George, Tom, David, Robert, Adam, Ida, Nora, Ocean. And that's it for tonight. Thanks, guys. Great showing for tonight. Good to see you guys all back. Hope to see you again next week. And on behalf of the groups, out of our Hanso, Hans von Egan, and all of us at the Dharma Initiative, namaste and goodbye.
Mr. 1 minute to quarantine failure. Initiate countermeasures.
Well, looks like
Warning. Containment breach imminent. Evacuate non-essential personnel.
Officer Friendly, it's your old pal Merle. You remember me, don't you? Just wanted to say, hey, sure is something how you done turned into Farmer John, transformed the prison into a genuine hippie commie lovin'. Yeah, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, had all God's critters. But Farmer Friendly, yeah, he's got rug munchers, taco slingers, spear chuckers, beaners, lovebirds, Nubian queens, even Chinese kids. Yeah, sure is something, but not quite my scene. Yeah, I met up with an old acquaintance of yours, Otis, and he helped me express these sentiments in a song. Ain't gonna work on Sheriff Friendly's farm no more. farm no more. Well, I wake up in the morning, put on little Merle and pray for crystal meth. Don't know why I do the things I do. Just a damn mystery to me. The shame the way it cuffs me to the roof. Ain't gonna work on Sheriff Friendly's farm no more. Ain't gonna work for Farmer Herschel no more. No, I ain't gonna work for Farmer Herschel no more. Well, he hands you a Bible, then he hands you a line. He asks you with a grin if you're having a good time. Then he finds you every time you slam that Chinese boy head against the door. No, I ain't gonna work on Farmer Herschel no more. Ain't gonna do the governor's dirty work no more. No, I ain't gonna do the governor's dirty work no more. Well, he bites off my fingers, spits them in my face just for kick. His secret room is filled with zombie heads. The National Guard hide, yeah, he just guards the rest. I ain't gonna do the governor's dirty work no more. Ain't gonna work for Andrea no more. No, I ain't gonna work for Andrea no more. Well, she talks to all the Woodbury counties about man and God and law. Everybody says she's the brains behind Philip. She's quite a wreck, but I say Blondley's a rug buncher. No, I ain't gonna work for Andrea no more. I ain't gonna work on Sheriff Friendly's farm no more. No, I ain't gonna work on Sheriff Friendly's farm no more. Well, I try my best, but I ain't gonna beg. And I can't go back. Well, you just got to play the hand you're dealt. I only got one. I'll bet you a penny to fiddle full of gold. Hell, we haven't any fun just yet. Hell, I even drink vodka, but I ain't gonna work on Sheriff Friendly's farm no more.
Yeah. How's about a big hug for your old pal Merle?
Sign up in our town. If you live it up, you won't live it down. So she left Monte Rio's son, just like a bullet leaves a gun. With a charcoal eyes and Monroe hips, she went and took that California trip. Oh, the moon was gold and her hair like wind. Said, don't look back, just come on, Jim. Oh, you got to hold on, hold on. You got to hold on, take my hand, standing right here, you got to hold on. dime store watch and a ring made from a spoon. Everyone's looking for someone to blame. When you share my bed, you share my name. Well, go ahead and call the cops. You don't meet nice girls in coffee shops. She said, baby, I still love you. Sometimes there's nothing left to do. Oh, but you got to hold on. Baby, gotta hold on and take my hand. Standing right here, you gotta hold on. Well, God bless your crooked little heart. St. Louis got the best of me. I miss your broken china voice. How I wish you were still here with me. Oh, you build it up, you wreck it down, then you burn your mansion to the ground. Oh, there's nothing left to keep you here. But when you're falling behind in this big blue world, oh, you've got to hold on. Baby, gotta hold on, take my hand, standing right here, gotta hold on. Down by the Riverside Motel, it's thin below and falling. And by a 99-cent store, she closed her eyes and started swaying. But it's so hard to dance that way when it's cold and there's no music. Oh, your old hometown so far away, but inside your head there's a record that's playing a song called Hold On. Baby, gotta hold on to take my hand. Standing right there, gotta hold on. You gotta hold on. Baby, gotta hold on. Taking my hand, standing right there, gotta hold on. You gotta hold on. Baby, gotta hold on and take my hand. Standing right here, you gotta hold on. You gotta hold on, baby, gotta hold on and take my hand. Standing right here, you gotta hold on. 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 You gotta hold on, baby. You gotta hold on. You gotta hold